Do this. And here we go. Hello, hello, everyone. I'm Clarine Mitchell, owner of TCM Communications. My whole business is focused on helping success driven professionals and businesses to effectively leverage LinkedIn to generate results. So I do that via one on one coaching, group trainings, and event speaking. Now, to this week and today, especially with my LinkedIn lunchtime chats, I have the special honor, and I'm saying this seriously with all heart. And like, I love my clients, truly, truly love my clients. And this is another one of my special clients. And let me just pause a minute to make sure that we got things going on the way we need to have things going on, technical, and we do. So, Donna Smith-Bellinger is here, is in the house, so to speak, as my special guest today. I'm going to let her explain or introduce herself and talk about her business. And then we're going to get into some fun conversation. But welcome, Donna. It's a treat to have you here.
Clarine, thank you so much. It's a treat to be here. I love being in your space. And as I've said countless times, every time I'm with you, it's an
Oh,
eye-opening experience. I
oh,
come away richer than when I walked in. So it's just a joy, and you are such a blessing. You
oh my
really are,
God.
because people who are out there who know me, you all know I am low on filters. I'm straight no chaser, and fortunately, Clarine knows how to work with someone like me. You know, when we had our session,
Wait,
I
no, no,
gave,
no, no. We don't,
no, I
no.
gotta tell. You
It's
want me to talk
about
about
you
me?
right now.
I know, but you're so special. But okay, fine. So who I am.
Yeah,
I
who
am
are you?
your, I am your sales manager on demand. If you are a business owner who is pretending to be a sales manager,
Oh,
you need to
pretending
call
to
me.
be.
Yeah,
Pretending.
you're trying to wear all of those hats, and you want your sales team to do things the way you did them way back in God knows when. No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work with today's client. It's not going to work with today's salesperson. There's a generational difference,
Yes.
and you are going to lose money. You'll be doing what I call making money in spite of yourself instead of because of focused efforts. I also work with individuals who are having sales as a component of what they do. That could show up as an entrepreneur, a one-upreneur, a solopreneur, a salesperson in real estate or financial services, or maybe you're an innovator or an inventor. Uh, Perhaps you are a corporate person considering transitioning out of corporate and into your own consulting firm or a different type of business. Please talk to me before you leave corporate.
Mm,
There's some prep work that you have to do, and otherwise you're going to be going, why aren't they answering my calls? Because you didn't do the prep. You didn't do the prep. I work exclusively in consultative sales, which means I don't do retail and I don't do hospitality. I focus on sales that is focusing on relationships. And like Clarine, I work in groups, I work privately, and the majority of the clients that I have are either referrals, yay, or people who have heard me speak before. And they say, Donna, you don't do this the way everyone else does it. I have 40 years of sales experience. I have led sales teams in a variety of areas, including tech and education. I am a trainer. I am an adjunct in business and entrepreneurship. I sit on the board, the advisory board for a college in Illinois, a community college, and I've been on tons of different types of boards and leadership roles. So I've like been there, done that, got the t-shirt. My goal
got
is
the
to,
t-shirt. Is that what you said?
I said, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. That's right. That's right. And when my daughter was little, I told her, I said, I'm gonna get a t-shirt made that says PhD from Don't Let This Happen to You University,
Oh, okay.
because there are a lot of missteps that happen.
Mm.
But I love working with my people who are in corporate, and I also love working with individuals who have leadership roles and they don't know how to have conversations where people follow them, and they're
Mhm.
not building leaders and they're not creating all of that. So in tech and education, all of those other areas, that's who I am. And then of course you can tell that I'm a shy retiring introvert.
You're who? What? What?
Lightning.
So, with all of that said, can you share the name of your business? So, making sure that people do know the name of your business and your location. So, I'm in the greater Milwaukee area. One of the things I love about my business and what I do is through technology, I have clients all over the world and some internationally. So, even though I'm in the greater Milwaukee area, you're in, where are
I
you?
am in Chi-Town, Chicago, Illinois. My company is DS Bellinger Consulting. And simply because I tried a lot of different names, but here's what happened. People remembered me. They never remembered the company name. They always remembered me and how I made them feel when they got into my space. So it just, I got tired of swimming upstream. It's like, I'm not going to try and force feed this to people.
I,
My
mhm.
hashtag is Ask DSB. I got that from my clients. They're like, well, what do you think we do when we get confused? We ask DSB. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm not going to fight that one either. You know,
You
so
have to you have to acquiesce to the demand because and it connects to what we're going to be talking about as far as LinkedIn, because people will say, oh, should I focus more on my business or company page or my page and my personal profile? And I say first, before you can even build a brand as a business, especially as an entrepreneur, you have to have your own personal brand zoned in on, right? Because it is built on your reputation, your energy, your personality, as you're talking about, as you've talked about, Donna, where people gravitate to your personality, the essence of you, and how, your whole energy, and that creates a relationship that they value, right? And then they're going to listen to you when it comes to DSB, right?
absolutely. And you have to own your real estate. So I have two websites.
Mm.
One is DonnaSmithBellinger.com. Ta-da. The other one is
Mhm.
AskDSB.com. So that whichever way you remember me, you can find me.
Oh, okay.
And that works really well. The people who are usually the Ask DSB people, I focus on that website on programs for individuals
Mhm.
and private and also public. And then on the DonnaSmithBellinger.com site, that's more corporate facing. So that's when I'm working with the businesses and the business owners and team managers and things like that, because they're two different conversations.
Right.
And I want everyone to get in where they fit in. It's so important. It's so
Right.
important that you're able to have those conversations, because not all of my clients are one specific type.
Right. And you have to be able to speak to them in their language. And so you talked a little bit about your shine factor, I call it, or what differentiates you from others who do what you do. Like
Mhm.
there's multiple, I'll say, there's other LinkedIn coaches, trainers, speakers, but I
You can
differentiate
drop a
myself.
piece of lint, you can drop a cat hair, and you will hit somebody who says that they coach. That's the reason that I lean more towards the word consultant,
Mm,
because I am outcomes driven. And my first
right.
question
Yeah.
is
Result.
is about results. What do you want this engagement to produce for you?
Right.
Where do you want to wind up? But my second question is always why?
Good.
Why?
Right.
Because when I've worked with, and one of the stories that I love to share is I worked with a company and I helped them to hire and onboard a new sales team. And the sales manager said, okay, well, this new girl's pretty sharp. And we decided that she's going to, her quota is going to be doing 100K. And I looked at him and I smiled. And I said, okay, I'm going to go and talk to her now. You can't come because you'll get arrested if you do what I do. And I went in and I had a quick conversation with her. And I asked the questions that they are not allowed to ask, like married or single. You single? Yeah. Are you looking? Yeah. Do you want a man who's flying coach or first class? First class. And what do you want to do with the money that you make here? Oh, I'm going to invest it and do this and do that. Okay. You're not going to fly first class and invest in this real estate and do these other things on 100K. So let's just agree that 100K will help keep you from being fired. Now let's create something that's going to get you where you want to be.
Mm.
And that conversation took just about the amount of time that we just spent on it. But it shifted her entire focus on how she was going to approach her revenue generation for that particular company. And she came out kicking butt and taking names because she was working for herself.
Right. That why.
Regardless to who writes the check, regardless to the brand you represent, you are in business for yourself. You know, and one of the topics that I have done workshops on is called Me, Myself, and I Incorporated, when you're a sales team of one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As entrepreneurs, solo entrepreneurs, we're that, right? Team of one. But I was saying how part of my shine factor differentiator from others who are in my industry is my PR background or my journalism background and my focus on branding and telling the stories of my clients or pushing them to tell their stories. And a part of your shine factor, I believe, and what differentiates you is the real talkness, right? And that perspective, like, uh-oh, am I wrong? Am I off? No.
No, 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 no.
The real talk, but that real talk is seasoned with that expertise, though, from everything you talked about before and all your years of experience in corporate sales and such.
All these many years, over 40 years.
Oh,
in corporate sales. Look, yeah, that's about what it is. I started out being the only woman, the youngest, and the only person of color in many of the rooms that I went into.
That's three.
So I had the trifecta, honey. I had the trifecta. I would walk into a room and they'd ask me where the coffee was. You know, I mean, it was that kind of a situation.
Yeah.
I worked in high ticket sales. I worked in tech. I co-founded a tech firm. Like I said, I sat on boards and did all those crazy things that you do when you haven't yet learned how to say no. I teach my clients how to do that. And so now I focus on helping people shorten their sales cycle.
Okay.
So that they can serve more clients in the same amount of time and get paid. Because when you were talking about getting paid, I was like, yes. Do that thing. When you were talking about getting paid, I was like, yes, go do it. Yes, that's what we're talking about.
It's the thing about working smarter, not harder, right? So the working with less clients, but you getting paid, right? And having quality time in that process and quality results. So let's talk about how we met, how we connected. The stories are always different and interesting. So I'll let you share and I'm going to see if our stories match up.
Ooh, that'll be interesting because I thought that we connected through Smart Women Partner. Did we connect before that?
Yes, we did.
Oh, so, Lord Jesus. Okay, go ahead.
And this gets back to why I'm honored to have you as my guest. And so, and you're referring to, and let me make sure I have her name right. So I give
Geraldine B. Thomas.
Geraldine Thomas, right. And so for people who are not familiar with Geraldine Thomas, she's a huge supporter of women, especially women of color and Black women on LinkedIn. And so if you're not following Geraldine Thomas, please do follow her on LinkedIn or connect with her. But yes, so you and I both were featured in her list of top Black women.
I know where we met.
It's coming back. But let me finish this. So we were both featured in her list this year, and I forget which month, of top Black women to follow on LinkedIn. And so then we started communicating again, or communicating directly as a result of that. But okay, what do you remember now, dear?
I am remembering Tech Thursday.
There you go.
and Coach Tawana, who I interviewed earlier this week.
Okay.
Tawana Ross.
Tawana Ross, yes.
Tawana Ross.
Professor.
The
The
LinkedIn
LinkedIn
professor.
professor. Yes.
Yeah. And so she and I were sharing a platform, and you were there. And were you on the platform as well?
So the story, yeah, and so this for people not familiar. So in Chicago, the event is not happening, or even before the pandemic, but it was an annual conference called Tech Thursdays, and so I went from the greater Milwaukee area to Chicago. Phenomenal event. I went, and so I believe it was 2 years ago. So this is 2020, 2018. I went, and so that's when I met. Excuse me, the LinkedIn professor Tawana Ross as well. Love her dearly, and actually, my LinkedIn book, is dedicated to her in part. Um, but I also met you there because you were one of the speakers, and so I was on, I think, the front row because you were on one of the main stages. I was on the front row, girl fanning out, like, yes, go on, Black woman, yes, say that. I was in awe because you just so powerful on the stage that I was just in awe. And I've been a fan ever since. And so you didn't mention this, but Donna Smith-Bellinger, and I still have my book, and yes, signed and all of that. And so after your talk that day, I purchased my book, waited in line in my heels. My feet was hurting that day in my heels.
Laugh when I see people at events in heels. I go, rookie.
Oh no, that's the brand. I gotta, but standing in the line, I'll pay for it later, probably years down. But standing in the line waiting, so I have my book. So it was interesting, and it connects to even the conversation of networking, how we met those years ago. Right now, it's been years, but we reconnected via the Jared Lynn activity on LinkedIn.
Uh-huh.
But and so one of the things that I love about you is how we reconnected on there. We had some time, but then so it was right in September, September, because I did my last master class, my most recent master class. I have one coming up on December 17th, but you saw the day after.
Take that class.
It's coming up December 17th. But on the day after my masterclass, I did a live in my Facebook group, LinkedIn Power Moves with Clarine. Literally within minutes, I will tell people, within minutes of me doing that live, we connected, you scheduled, and we had a session that same day. I have it in my planner. I know. My master class was on the 24th. We met on the 25th, and you've been rocking it on LinkedIn since then. Even though your presence was there before, you've been rocking it even more since then. So just bravo to you for being about your business and taking advantage. But so, how has it been? What changed?
Okay, now I get to tell the story I was trying to tell earlier.
Oh, okay.
One of the things that Clarine does is she will record the session with you when you work with her privately, and it's helpful because as you process this great amount of information she'll provide, you need to go back and go, how did she say I do that? So that it's self-defense for all of us who are in this type of a profession. It's self-defense, so we don't have to keep going back in and repeating ourselves. So you think it's an extra service, but no, really we're protecting ourselves and our sanity. So I shared it with my assistant, and my assistant died laughing. She said, it is obvious that you are much more accustomed to being the coach than the coached. You gave this woman a way to go. I was like, no. But she had the patience to deal with me. And so that's the mark of a true professional. So I want to thank you for that.
You're welcome.
She explained to me, one of the things that I didn't understand is, number one, how visible I was. And then number two, how visible I could be, because I didn't know how I was showing up. I will tell you now that I have been getting more speaking requests than ever, more quality connection requests. Instead of the people from Nigeria or Greenland or Ollie Russia, these people, oh, you look very attractive. Honey, no, please go away. I got
Yeah.
shoes older than you. So I just,
Like I said, the real talk from Donna. I love it.
I'm just saying. So it is helping me to be much more focused on how I reach out, who I connect with. I'm not overlooking opportunities because now I have a better idea of how to vet people who want to connect with me. I can tell much easier who's someone I may do business with or who's somebody I may partner with,
Right.
because you have to be able to understand those distinctions.
Right.
And I actually, oh Lord, I never thought I'd say this, like LinkedIn now.
Okay,
It
you
was
know
a
we
necessary
recorded this.
evil.
We live and I'm recording it. So now the
No,
world
I
knows.
now like LinkedIn. I previously was just outsourcing everything, which isn't really good because when you outsource everything, people can't listen with your ear. The people you hire, they're great for your outgoing messages, not so good for filtering who's trying to reach out for you. So don't count on outsourcing everything when it comes to your online presence.
Your brand. Yes. Only
They cannot process the way that you do. That's why you do what you do.
right.
So be very, very proprietary in how your voice is being used.
Right. Right.
Okay, because where will it show up? In your bank account. That's what it'll either be there or it won't be there. All right. And a lot of times when it's not there, it's because someone overlooked an opportunity, uh, did not connect properly with that individual, uh, didn't give you the opportunity to connect with them directly.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot allow those things to happen. Clarine will help you to be able to determine. Uh, I remember she jumped all over me. What did I have? 135 unanswered invitations.
I'm not like so hard as you're saying. I am a little nice with it. Like I put some sugar on top of it.
Yeah, I had almost 150 connection requests sitting in my box.
Opportunities, potential opportunities are sitting there wasting, lingering, getting dust and cobwebs all on them. But okay.
That's what she says. But the first thing she did when I went in, I said, "Oh, okay. Well, I'll just start connecting with them." Stop. You have to go in and vet them. And she took the time to go ahead and do that with me. And so, yeah, yeah. But it
It's
works.
a process. So I
It
don't know,
works.
what is it going to take to get you from liking LinkedIn to loving LinkedIn? What else do we have to do, my dear?
I just need more money. I love things
It's
that make me
coming.
money.
It's coming. It's coming. And I
I
love
know.
how you talked about how the importance of people really owning their brands, especially on LinkedIn. And again, like you say, there's individuals who virtual assistants and others who can manage certain accounts, but when it comes to LinkedIn, the process is so different where you have to truly own your brand so that your voice comes across. So the presence and essence of who you are and what's important to you, what you offer is there, and that you're more responsive and not seen as a robot on the platform. Because when you're roboty, it doesn't resonate, it doesn't hit people, and you're not able to connect and get those results. So so glad that you mentioned that. And I want to kind of wrap it up so we're not going too long, but I've loved this conversation. So glad you're at least liking LinkedIn now, and you're using it in a more powerful way, because the more you use the platform in a strategic way, then you're going to get those results. Because if you're just haphazard or using it like you use other platforms, it's not going to happen. So
Yeah, and this is not a situation where you just are trying to collect connections like you collect likes. That is not going to serve you. It can actually work against you.
right, right.
And when you work with Clarine and she does her master class, which I'm going to do because I never did,
You don't
just so
pass.
everybody's clear, I did not take the master class. What I caught was her recap. And in her recap, she spoke to the results that her people had had. And while she's speaking about those people, I'm going and looking at their LinkedIn profiles. And I'm like, okay, this person does this person does that. I need to be in this space. I need to be in this space. And so I shot out the thing. I was like, wait a minute. We have special pricing for people who participated in this? Because I hate the D word. All right. I never use the D word. I love special pricing though, and I love bonuses.
Exclusive offers.
I
Yes.
love those too.
Mhm.
And so I jumped in on that immediately.
Immediately.
And
Yes.
I'd sent her a thing and I was like, so where's the link and how do I put in my credit card?
Like now. Yes.
Yeah, because I think it was a limited number.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, no, 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 no. See,
Mhm.
sis got to be in on this limited group. I love exclusivity.
Uh,
So it was worth every bit of the investment in time and money, worth every single centavo. So
love hearing you say that. Because
I have to say it. I've spent tons of money on people who delivered zip. And I
glad I'm not
have,
on that list with you. Thank you.
you are, no, you are on like the A list. I don't even mention the other people's names and they've invited me to spend. I'm like, yeah, no, 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 and no. I know who you are. I know what you represent. As far as I'm concerned,
Right.
you still owe me money.
Right.
So I don't deal with, because I know how much my time is worth.
Right.
Even if they don't refund me what I paid, whatever amount of time that I spent working with them,
Right.
that's the money I lost.
Right.
The investment, I call that lesson learned, tuition paid.
Mm,
I'm okay with that part of it.
been moving.
It's
Mm,
it's the other stuff that kind of can annoy me. And that's something that you and I have in common. We hone in specifically on the challenge of the people that we serve. And then we don't give them all this other stuff to force them into our business model. We're like, cut to the chase.
custom, custom.
Where does it hurt? Let me help you get this fixed. And then when your mind is no longer focused on the pain, we can explore the other things that are possible.
Right. Right.
And that I respect highly out of your process, Clary.
Thank you, ma'am. So, how do people get in touch with AskDB, AskDSB? Let me get it right. How do people get in touch with you, especially those that you say are your target market, especially entrepreneurs or corporates who are thinking about transitioning into the life of entrepreneurs, or those who just need to zero in more on their sales technique and process? How do they get in touch with you besides LinkedIn?
Okay, so LinkedIn definitely is a way. And I don't care if you're selling cookies and t-shirts or if you're selling $1 million deals. I can assist you and I'm willing to assist you. How we work together is the discussion. So
Mhm.
you can go to www.askdsb.com. If you go there, there are several free webinars and recordings that you can make use of. And from that, you'll get a better idea of what I offer. And you can also then request to have a 20-minute chat with me, because that's all it takes. You see what I did here in 30. And for us to decide if we like each other enough to want to do something together.
I love that part, the like each other, because the process of doing business with people is the relationship and it goes both ways. So people on both sides have that option or should. The vetting goes both ways. So great, great, great. Thank you for joining me today for this LinkedIn lunchtime chat. It's been an honor. And I hope it's been informative to everyone who joined us. And so nice seeing you, and we'll continue to see you on LinkedIn and otherwise. But everyone else, thank you so much for joining us. And remember to always shine online with LinkedIn if you want to get those results.